this is why it pays to use both of my systems, the one for MetaTrader and the one for Thinkorswim. Now here you have a pattern in the SPY 1 hour chart. Right here is the signal. This is a straight signal. You could see this is breaking down after you have this topping out where it says +3. You see this topping out. This is topping out. It starts to weaken. It's trying to hold that support there. The support breaks eventually. The signal is back in here. You get a just straight signal right there. How you play that is you go to your Thinkorswim terminal and then you start shorting. Here is how this looked on the S&P 500. It's just literally the same thing. You have the short right there. All right. So it's actually trading right now, even though it's 3:39 a.m. in the morning. This says this is a foreign broker, so whatever time they're using is different than United States, but the signal came in at their time on 12/12/1500. So you have to convert that. You have to convert that to US time. Okay, so ChatGPT tells me that IFC markets this time right here would be 8 a.m. 8 a.m. on February 12th. Same day. It says same day, but 8 a.m. So this signal came in at 8 a.m. All right. Now, this signal comes in right here. What time do we have here? That is the day before. So the day before is the setup. So if you do a swing trade, okay, so ChatGPT is telling me that it would be 12 noon, this signal, on February 10th. So that's what time this happens. Okay, you will notice that it opens up higher. So if you actually waited and then traded a short based on the pattern, you could get into a nice, juicy, short-term play. So going back to the open, if you had decided that this is all in play, and even though it gapped up, with all things considered, it's still a short. And why is it still a short? Well, because over in here at 8 a.m., you have it all set up, right? You have it all set up. That is saying 8 a.m., okay. And by over here, I mean the S&P 500, because that is what the SPY is based on. So back over here at the SPY chart, all right, you have this gap up, and you're looking, and you can just tell that it is very top heavy. It's all set up for a short. So now we draw our horizontal line, and we're right here at about 696. So we want to get like a couple points out of the money. All right, so 694. Okay, 696, 694 to be like 2 points out of the money. Okay, so I already have this chart pulled up. I don't know if Thinkorswim will allow me to get this data because sometimes they're stingy about it and it might be too late. So this, anyways, this is a 695 put on that day. And look what this thing did. Look what it did. So I'm going to have to change this to show hourly. Okay, hourly to show the full day. So now on the open, you could have bought this for about $2, $200 for the contract in the hourly time frame on the second actually you have a signal buy on the hourly. So this is a long-term buy signal using the towers system in here. You could see this thing is the para is going down, and then it does all this, and here it starts to move sideways, which is a good sign for it to be turning around, but that doesn't mean that it will. Then it gaps down below here. So this is a sign that down in here is a good buy. Okay, you got a signal back in here. Now if you play your cards right, if you're doing the hourly time frame and you're doing more of a swing pattern, you could see it drops back in here. Now using MetaTrader is where you get the signal. Okay, you got to piece together the evidence. You get the signal to sell on the 10th. Okay, on the 10th at about noon. Okay, and then it gaps up. Okay, it gaps up. That's why it looks like this. This gaps down in price. Okay, it's a put contract selling. Okay, and yeah, back in here you could buy this for less than 2 for a short period of time. This thing starts to really ramp up. Let me see if I could pull up without messing this up. It's tricky to do. If you lose it, then it's hard to get back. Okay, there's a way out. Backspace didn't work. Okay, delete doesn't work. No. Okay, it's going to be hard to do. So one way to get their data, that's tricky as hell. Okay, you have to tab back. Oh, I got it. It's hard to do. So backspace worked. Put in the 4 and then press enter. Don't lose all the other information. I'm just trading that, changing it from a 5 to a 4, because otherwise you might not be able to get the data. So the 694 contract is what we wanted, was $2 out of the money. Okay, sometimes it's hard to look up back data. That's why I did it like that. It might be in there, but if it's farther back than what's shown, okay, I think it's all good. So maybe I'm being schizophrenic, but anyway, today, yeah, I'm being schizophrenic. This is today's trade. What am I thinking? What I was thinking that I lost time because it's after midnight, but today is the 13th, but the data right here, that's why I got confused. Stupid me. All right, so this contract you could have got cheaper. It does the same thing. So look at this. It drops all the way down to 89. Okay, goes up. Look at the money involved. Look at the money, how much it goes up. Beautiful trade. So this trade setup is a better setup on MetaTrader. So let's see if we have the hourly here. Okay, hourly short signal comes in right here. Okay, I think, all right, back in here it's saying to sell, and it just stays sell even though it goes up. This is like still all sell in there. Okay, big sell. Look at that. On the hourly time frame, that's a better swing frame time frame. Back in here, you get that gap up and along. It's kind of like simple, isn't it? So when you plan it out right, you could use these options in my system to plot out your trades. So each system, the MetaTrader is 500. You get the support resistance, which comes in handy. If someone else buys my system again, I'll try to convert it, the support and resistance, for Thinkorswim as well, and send it to everyone who has bought the system. Cashapp is my favorite way to buy it. So this is $500. You get para and you get the tower system. Okay, and it's a straightforward buy signal, sell signal. All right, good luck trading.